and I went on a short walk to see some of the buildings and the destruction in Jacmel. And I was reminded as we pulled up that this was the spot that I was wanting to take some of the guys and just to show them some of the destruction that took place, the most difficult place in Jacmel. So we jumped out of the truck and just did a quick, seriously 5-minute tour of this one little street. And it just brought back so many memories. When the earthquake first hit, I walked down here and there were still dead bodies, people trapped. You could see. And the rubble still remains because there's not a lot of tractors, there's not a lot of big machinery to get everything out of here and start cleaning it up for repair. The ocean's right up here. A lot of people don't know it, but a tsunami also hit Jacmel. We're going to take a right. So there's destruction this way, there's a church that's been collapsed. When this house right here, there was actually a guy that was stuck on the porch. He died on the way out of the. He was actually crushed on the way stepping off of his front porch right there in that spot. And it took about maybe a week to get his body out of here. This was another place where there were some children died here, some children died here. 3 days after the quake, we kind of walked through here and we're just kind of in shock at what happened. We're 6 weeks out from the earthquake, and you can see people are living on the streets still. Now the issue is we're approaching rainy season. A lot of the tents are starting to deteriorate, especially the cheaper ones. Down this street, you can see all the tents. And basically all the destruction that took place is still here. They've kind of cleaned it up and pushed it back, and they've got most of the bodies out that were here when we first came down through here. But you can see it's still just a heap of rubble, and that's how they're living right now. So we can't forget about the people here, because we can't just give them relief efforts. We can't just sustain them for a little while. We really have to invest in their lives to keep them. To help sustain them. I mean, people can't live in tents forever. They're going to get diseases. They're going to get sick from all different kinds of, from being out and being exposed. So we have to come in here and tear down these houses that have been destroyed and rebuild. And it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of money, and a lot of effort. I still have tons of hope for this place. These people are some of the most beautiful people on the planet, and they're not cursed. They're blessed people, but they're blessed because the church has to come out and reach out to them and show them that God hasn't forgotten. Everybody seems seems pretty positive that it's going to be alright. I think he needs a blood transfusion, the right kind of formula for a premature baby. I don't know how premature he was, but he's 6 weeks old and still right at 4 pounds. This is the mother. It's hard to understand what must be going through her head, the emotions that she's feeling right now. Because she has to think that, you know, I don't know if she wants to give up her baby. She doesn't. I think she wants to keep her baby. And she seems like she doesn't want to be away from her. But at the other times, it's hard to know what's going through her head. So the baby's going to be staying here for the next probably 6 or 7 days getting treatments, and we'll just be in prayer for God's will to be done. And we always want, you know, this baby to be with her mom and have a healthy, positive relationship. So we're going to be in prayer for this mom too. So when I think back to that moment in the hospital, I think of Mackenson's little body, his feet, his hands, his face, his fingers and toes, how his mother was holding him, how vulnerable he was. It reminds me of a verse in Jeremiah 1:5. God says this, and he's speaking to Jeremiah. He says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart. I consecrated you to be a prophet to the nations. I had a plan and a purpose for your life. And when I think of Mackenson, I think of God's purpose for him and the story that God has for his life and how we were a part of it. And it was spectacular to be a part of it. But this morning we got some news from the hospital. It seems that Mackenson has made it through the most dangerous window. He's accepted his blood transfusion. He's being fed, and he's starting his way up and gathering strength. But along with that news, we got some bad news as well, that Mackenson is HIV positive. And it was heartbreaking for us because we know where he lives. We know his mom and what his mom's already struggling with. And we know how hard of a road it's going to be for him in the next few years just to stay alive. When I think about Haiti, I can't help but draw the parallel to Mackenson. I know that God has a story and a purpose and a plan for Haiti. And just like Mackenson and his mom went through the labor pains of birth and 6 weeks of struggle, Haiti has had an earthquake, virtually their own labor pain, 6 weeks of struggle. Just like Mackenson has hope for a future, Haiti has hope. Mackenson has some hurdles to get over with HIV. So does Haiti. But God is big and God is good. And he's an incredible author. And he has an amazing narrative that's playing out here in this country. And it's filled with hurdles, tragedies, and triumphs. And I guess the only question that remains is, how is God going to write you in to this story?